Alright, my name is Jesse Ehrenreich, and I'm commentating this battle between John and Cody. Thank you very much. Alright, so John and Cody are in the final round of the Masters competition. Alright, in the big screen we have John, and in the smaller screen we have Cody. John has Groudon, Ferrothorn, Togekiss, Palkia, Salamence, and Talonflame, while Cody has Aegislash, Groudon, Xerneas, Kangaskhan, Zapdos, and Smeargle. Groudon has been a fan favorite so far this year, with the addition of legendaries into the VGC games. This is the second time they've gone up against each other today, but the first match of the finals. Alright, so we see that Cody led with Xerneas and Kangaskhan, while John led with Salamence and Talonflame. So, with this current setup, Salamence has to watch out for Xerneas, as it's a fairy type, as well as Kangaskhan going Mega and having it's a double edge or fake out access, but John does have priority with Talonflame using Brave Bird, which should do decent damage to either Xerneas or Kangaskhan. Xerneas tends to run with Power Herb and Geomancy to get a nice big boost right at the beginning. Alright, so we see that John is going to Mega Evolve Salamence into Mega Salamence. And we also see Kangaskhan Mega Evolve as well. Alright, so he does go for the Fake Out into Talonflame. So that's a good move there. Keeps Talonflame from being able to Brave Bird into his Xerneas, but John managed to get a Tailwind up now, which is going to be a big bonus for the team. Gives him a little bit of speed access. So right there, we see that he foregoed using Geomancy, instead went with Dazzling Gleam to try and get rid of John's Salamence, but it managed to hold on there with just a little bit of HP, and now they're going to have speed on their side. John does still have to watch out, though, for Kangaskhan, as it often carries Sucker Punch, which will, of course, take out his Talonflame if he decides to use Brave Bird, or his Salamence as well. So John opts to take Salamence out, and he brings in Togekiss. Togekiss, with its good protection against special attacks, will give itself a nice bonus against Xerneas. Good prediction there. He opted to use Geomancy on his Xerneas, and with Power Herb, Geomancy only takes one turn, so now next turn he'll be powered up and ready to attack. But we do still have to remember that John's team does have speed support right now, with Tailwind behind him. The game is still pretty up in the air. Once again, John does still have to be careful with Sucker Punch. Oh, Well, it looks like Cody opted to take Kangaskhan out and bring in Groudon. So Groudon's going to Primal Valve into Primal Groudon, which will make the field under intense heat because of Desolate Land, and this will increase all Fire-type attacks and also prevent Water-type attacks. And Cody went for the Protect on Xerneas. John was trying to put some control on Xerneas, and unfortunately was caught with the Protect, but fortunate for Cody, who now has 2 new and fairly strong Pokemon, but still going to be slowed by that Tailwind, which both ups John's Pokemon speed and downs Cody's. Talonflame's going to Brave Bird into Xerneas. He's going to have to take recoil damage and do the Life Orb, take a little bit of more damage. Now, even though Togekiss is both Fairy type and generally specially bulky, it's the Geomancy Xerneas is still going to deal quite a bit of damage. John did get the Thunder Wave off though, so he's going to have more speed control on the Xerneas now, as well as the chance for it to miss its attack. And Eruption in the Sun is going to put away Togekiss. Tailwind is now petered out, but that's okay. It's only 2 on 4, so we'll see how this plays out. Now, Palkia is a pretty good Pokemon to have in this situation when it's paired against Groudon. Being a water dragon, it's not heavily affected by the Fire-type attacks that Groudon tends to favor. And with Salamence, it will be able to ignore Precision Blades or any other type of ground attacks that Groudon might carry due to its flying nature. And with Xerneas paralyzed, even though its speed was increased using Geomancy, it should still be slower than John's Pokemon. Now Groudon tends to be especially bulky, or physically bulky, so special attacks will do an extra amount of damage, as we can see there. Even with the Hyper Voice split, it still dealt half damage, and John's Palkia was able to finish it off with Earth Power. So now we're back into a 2-on-3 scenario, though we do have to remember that Salamence is very low on health, and Kangaskhan does have 2 priority type attacks. And Xerneas protected last round, so it cannot protect this round. So we'll see how this plays out. So he opted to Fake Out into the Salamence, which will end John's Salamence, but it does leave John's Palkia open to attack. John Hydro Pumped into Xerneas. Xerneas is incredibly specially defensively bulky, which is not good for John, with its special attacking Palkia, but the Paralyzed did go through, so Xerneas was not able to attack. This does still leave John with Kangaskhan and Xerneas and 1 more Pokemon that we have yet to see to deal with though. So this is a 3-on-1 match that definitely does not favor John. So he predicted the Protect and used Spatial Rend on Kangaskhan, which, even though it was a critical hit, it still lived. Now it is going to use Double Edge. Now, Double Edge will hit twice and take out Palkia. But the Kangaskhan will go down due to the recoil damage. But that still leaves Cody with a victory in game number 1. We will be back to you with game number 2.